section of Google Analytics.
Oh, yeah.
Client has a filtered view. What does this mean? Oh, that might explain something. So if you recall a while back when we did our Google Analytics course, we talked about how it's important to have 3 views: the default view, the backup view, and the testing view, right? Well, the testing view, okay, so the backup view should have no filters at all, completely untouched. That is just in case something goes wrong. A filtered view is where we modify the data we send into Google Analytics permanently. So if they have a filtered view, you can go into the admin section of Google Analytics and view the filters to see what is being changed as it gets sent to Google Analytics.
Okay.
One thing you might do one reason you might filter your view is if you wanted to exclude traffic from your internal IP address. Let's say you work at Wells Fargo and you don't want people from Wells Fargo inflating the traffic numbers on the Wells Fargo website, because you only want to see people coming from outside of Wells Fargo. Well, the IT team at Wells Fargo could determine what the IP address is from their computers and go into Google Analytics, change the filters so that nothing from Wells Fargo is reflected in Google Analytics.
Oh, okay.
Like when my last agency, we had a static IP address, and what we did is we went into every profile, created a filtered view. We made sure that the agency's IP address was not adding data to the client's thing. We who work from home don't have static IP addresses. We pay our ISP. That is a dynamic IP address. It can change every once in a while. That's why we use Ghostery, because Ghostery can exclude our traffic without having to worry about changing our IP address. So I would look and see what the filtered view is filtering. It might not filter anything. If it does filter something, if there are filters added, it is permanently changing the data sent to Google Analytics. And if that is what they mean to do, and the filters are installed properly, everything's gonna be fine. If there's a typo or an error, or it's an old filter that's no longer valid, then it could be telling them something different about their own site. So double check to see what the filter says. It might not have anything in there, but check what the filter says and double check to make sure it's right. And you're doing it right starting from day one, because now when you fix it, let's say there's a problem. If you fix it, immediately you're sending more traffic to, immediately you look good, and all you really did is clean up the data.
How do we check that filtered view to see what is excluded? Do we just go in there and will it just tell us?
Yeah, so let me, I don't want to, let me see if I can, get into a Google Analytics account. Oh, wait, I don't do that. I want to do this. All right, let me see if I can get into a Google Analytics account that's not protected, that I can share on screen. So this is, the views are limited to Universal Analytics, not GA4. So GA4 will do this in a different way, and honestly, I don't know what it will be yet. All right, I'm going to change to what am I changing to? Oh, let's do that one. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm sharing my screen. Don't be too impressed with how much traffic I get. No laughing. So go to admin, the gear at the bottom. And there are views, right?
Mhm.
And so when I'm in a view, I presume there's a view called filtered. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's say my all website data is filtered. I can then go to filters. And if there are filters, it will show me what is being filtered. And what filter means, when the Google Analytics code receives, the Google Analytics code sends data to Google. The filter comes between that and the database that stores the data and changes the data. So it could do stuff like exclude IP addresses. It could do stuff like, I want to include the whole URL in the data in the URL, so the whole domain name. There are people who try to clean up referral spam this way. That's the wrong way to do it. But just double check here and see what is being filtered and make sure we're not filtering out data we would love to see.
Okay.
All right, super advanced, great, wonderful, interesting questions. Thank you for asking.